But let's have a listen as Finucane takes them out with a customary sprint. Michael Ennis, my co-commentator. You've experienced the local derby on both sides. It's quite a unique situation you find yourself in.
Yeah, just walking through the gates brings back some great memories. Always wonderful days, these local derbies. And Nick Hines back for the Cronulla Sharks, the reigning Dahlia medalist. What a season he had last year, coming back from that calf injury. And it's been an indifferent start for the Cronulla side, only able to win one game against Parramatta. And he'll need a big night tonight. Nick Hines.
St George Illawarra Dragons led out by Ben Hunt. They are 1-1 and the bye to start the season. Ben Hunt will turn 33 tomorrow. What a battle it is, the two number sevens, really. Absolute five-star clash.
Yeah, two great ball-running halves. He's been tremendous again. Some results narrowly not going their way. Scoreline blew out last week against the Broncos, but boy, they had some good moments to drag there. He's so important to them tonight. He loves playing here, and they need to turn it around. The Sharks have won 5 straight against the Dragons in these derbies, so a big opportunity for the home side tonight to turn that around.
Sunday night rugby league right here on Fox League. Well, we've had fun this weekend. Hope you've had fun watching it all from the grand final rematch onwards from Thursday. Todd Smith is our referee of this one. Hard to think it will be anything but close, to be honest.
Yeah.
As you said, Dragons last week would tend to go, it's 18 all. I don't know, it just exploded the last 10 minutes with tries all Brisbane's way. And Cronulla's form is not what it was last season, so won't have to be too far off for the Dragons to come hunting tonight. Tyrell Sloan gets us underway. Last game of round number 4. Not a deep kickoff, and fielded 15 metres out from the Cronulla Sharks line. But it's a real good feel on a Sunday night here. It's a great sight across the hill on the eastern side of the ground with Cronulla and Dragons fans mixed in together. We're in for a fun night. Cronulla with their first possession, and Finucane just tipping that one on. 10 short of halfway. And played there by the newly shorn Toby Rudolph, and Ramian gets away with an offload that Hines is able to pick up the scraps and play on the call for Cronulla. And a little bit of razzle-dazzle early for Ramian again. Ball played at
6 more.
Kennedy's on it, and quite rightly. 6 to go for the Sharks. What a start. Now Brayley, short side, and Moylan looking to send Wilton on his way. They're 15 out from the St George Illawarra line. Moylan at first receiver. Hamlin Welle there. Oh, he's lost the ball on the tackle. A clean loss. He gets a rub of the head from Blake Laurie. And that's a little victory for the Dragons right there.
Yeah, Hines moving really freely early. Looks tremendous for the Sharks. This was down the short side. Recognised they only put 3 defenders there. Instantly got Ramian on the outside of the Dragons defensive line there. And this unnecessary from Ueli. 3 Dragons defenders there, smothering him in the tackle. And early in the tackle count, a nice turnover for the home side. The Sharks looking exciting early with their attack.
A deal of relief among the Dragons supporters after that opening exchange, all one-way traffic to start it there. And now the Dragons with the ball just outside their own 20. Disposed with there was Nicara for the Sharks. He's getting an appeal to the referee saying, "You allow that?" The Dragons push back inside their 30. Moses Mbai again with W half duties. And Sullivan. Not quite sure that's the sort of run you want from you to put your 5'8" in that position to make some hard meters out of trouble. And at the moment they're stuck inside their 30.
Great shot, Brayley underneath.
Laurie on that charge. Last tackle, Dragons. He lost his balance for a moment, Laurie. And then the kick from Hunt. There's a charge down, attacked by Talakai. And now the Dragons get another set as a result. With the benefit of hindsight, maybe Talakai just grab it. But he went a big attacking play.
Yeah, talk about the rugby league gods being with the Dragons there. 14 metres they made in that set, arguably the worst set of the season. Like, it was dreadful from the Dragons, and charged down off a poor kick from Hunt. Somehow ricocheted back to them.
Molo on this run. 100th game for Francis Molo today. Dragons 35 from the Sharks line. And Musgrove getting a start as middle forward here for St George Illawarra. Jack Bird coming off the bench. Left side with Laurie. On for Hunt. Now Sloan into the line, and Hines zeroed in and made an effective one-on-one tackle. Lomax. Oh, that's a Harbour Bridge pass out of dummy half. Musgrove will be called to play it. 16 metres away from the Sharks line. Last tackle. Good battle of the wingers here today. Both on the ground and in the air. It's out Surley's way. He won the leap.
Knock on from Moses.
And the knock-on is called against the Dragons centre. And so Cronulla will have the ball back, but it's a bright and breezy start.
Yeah, plenty of ball movement from both sides. A couple of loose passes there from the Dragons and a bit of indecision in their attack. And ball going forward from Moses Suli out of the hands to Ravalawa.
Let's go down to the sideline for the first time tonight. A lovely autumn evening to be at Cogra. Darcy McDonald, good evening.
Indeed, good evening, gents. A big crowd expected for the local derby as the Dragons and Sharks battle for the Monty Porter Memorial Cup. An interesting stat that may come into play is that all of the tries the Sharks have conceded this season have come from line breaks, while all of the tries the Dragons have scored this season have come from line breaks. As of the conditions, the cloud has cleared up, but there is a slight breeze favouring the Sharks as Nico Hines makes off.
Yeah. Narrow channel, Darcy to make ground. Nico Hines, he looks sharp, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, just playing with great freedom. An error here, though, from Sione Katoa. That doesn't help the Sharks' attack, and that's how the Sharks' season has been a little to start the year. Errors and defensive misreads, and it's moments like that that put so much pressure on your defensive line. Turnovers in collision there. You can just see the arm of Fione coming around and making contact there with the ball. But you're right, Vossi, sharp early from Hines. Looks terrific.
No easing himself back in to go short side like that. Just a couple of metres away from the touchline. He's come with his boots on. So Dragons in possession just outside their 40. And now Mbai for Musgrove. And Dragons just attacking the edge. Molo playing it right on halfway. Set restart Dragons. Hunt now on the run. Would have been a risk to pass there. Hines makes another tackle. The two halfbacks meet there.
Yeah, we don't often see personal battles. The two number 7s marking each other this evening. And the two keys to their side's results, you would think. Hines and Hunt squaring off early.
Sullivan and Musgrove there. Got a fair bandage on the left wrist as Hunt for Murdoch Priscilla. Looking to bowl over the top of the defence. Hanging on Nicara down low for the Sharks. Dragons bit of a chance here. Hunt goes long. Can they find overlap? Sloan wider still for Suli. And Mulitalo read it well and made the tackle count for Cronulla. Last tackle, Dragons. Sullivan's the kicker this time. Lomax is the target. Lomax, interesting play. Shoveled it up over his head. Picked up by Katoa. I don't know whether I've ever seen anyone do that from a ball.
One-on-one strip.
Double-handed whack back. And Cronulla end up with the ball, albeit not totally cleanly. I'll call it the whack back. Not the tap on, I'll call that, or the bat back, I'll call that the whack back. Sharks with it outside their 20. Good contact on Hamlin Welle there.
It's all been down the right-hand side for Cronulla, hasn't it? Plenty of traffic towards the Dragons' left-hand side of the field.
Now Hines goes wide. Singing pass for Mulitalo to stretch out. Support inside. Kick looks perfect. It's better than perfect for William Kennedy. It's silver service from Ronaldo Mulitalo. That's a spectacular Sharks try. at the Mr. Whippy end of Cogra. What a place to score it.
Yeah, you talk about players making people around them better, the great players. Watch this pass from Nico Hines, the reigning Dahlia medalist, the first time that they've been out to the left. It's Moylan that finds Hines out on that left-hand side. Look at that for a pass. 20 metres onto the chest of a rampaging Ronaldo Mulitalo. And off the outside of his boot, he finds Kennedy. And he puts it right next to the left-hand upright. Look at that pass from Nico Hines to Mulitalo. Silver service. Talk about that, Andrew.
Everything is done at top speed. And again, Hines starts it all. Mulitalo, what a sight. We saw Addo Carr full flight earlier today against the Warriors. Watch this kick. Watch this piece of skill. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And the bounce for Kennedy. You talk about horses for courses. 4 games here at Cogra. He scored it all 4. Will Kennedy.
Well, it's his 5th try of the season, Will Kennedy. He's been brilliant, but his knack and his instinct about being able to put himself in try-scoring positions is as good as any in the competition. Will Kennedy, he's had a great start to the year.
How good is the Rugby League? Let's get fair dinkum about it. How good is the standard of play? Some of the tries and attacking sequences and dramatic moments we're seeing. You're watching it all live on Fox League. Cronulla 6, Dragons 0.
Well, Ronaldo Mulitalo and Will Kennedy are forming a lethal combination. They're linked up for 2 of Cronulla's tries last week. But as for Will Kennedy, he's just scoring tries for fun now, and that's come off the back of a simple message from his coach to get his hands on the ball more and run. Several of Kennedy's teammates have singled him out as one of their best in the first 3 rounds, and that form captured the attention of a rival club. But for Kennedy, he only has eyes for the Sharks and is very close to inking a new deal.
25 years of age, he owns the number 1 now at Cronulla. Moylan back. So, terrific start to the game, but Cronulla opening the scoring. 9.5 minutes in. Sunday night on Fox League. Sunday night with Matty Johns to follow this in what has been a super Sunday with 3 matches back-to-back. And Cronulla now 35 metres out from their own line. Brayley and Hamlin Welle there on another run. Just short of halfway. Looking for the Brayley double today. Jaden's already got a win up in Newcastle. Hines kicking for placement. He's got Sloan on the run. And Sloan with the ball. 16th game in the NRL today. Still finding his way. But it is exciting, the 2 fullbacks on show in this one.
Yeah, making metres comfortably. The Cronulla Sharks at the moment, again, they go 70 or 80 metres downfield after scoring points. And just the ball movement and the moving pieces of Hines and Moylan travelling across and asking questions of the Dragons' defensive line. Very good to start the game.
Musgrove, another good charge for St George Illawarra, followed up by Laurie. Last tackle, St George Illawarra, fair distance out. The kick will come from the 40. Ben Hunt setting this one. Katoa's way. Lomax is getting through. And he overran the ball on the outside there, Lomax. He ended up in front of where it landed. And Cronulla now on the attack. 20 metres inside their own half, and here's Hines again. And that was a calf injury, but
running.
He's just full of running here.
Yeah, there's no self-preservation. There's all an offload there from Mulitalo. He'd like back. Moses Sembai now up into a good attacking position, 40 metres out. Great chance now for the Dragons to hit back.
Only flaw in Cronulla's game so far, 4 of 7 completion rate. And that is not good. And the Dragons with the ball 31 metres out from the Cronulla line for Hunt. Oh, and rushing up was Hines again. He's everywhere, and everything is working for him there. Put the pressure on. The tackle on Sloan, this time with Laurie. In good position, the Dragons. Mbai for Sullivan. Little step, but into the clutches there of Finucane. Last tackle, Hunter's on the right side of the ruck, calling the shots. Here he is, Hunt. Going to run it through it hard. Silly put it down.
He's had an indifferent start, Ben Hunt. He threw a poor pass earlier in the set for Tyrell Sloan, who just wasn't expecting it. And the rushing edge defence of Cronulla is really troubling the Dragons, almost forcing them to stay in the middle of the field. That time another poor pass from Ben Hunt out to Sully. Good shot here underneath. Ravalawa on Teague Wilton.
Sharks. Oh, Finucane! What a shot from Michaeli Ravalawa. Finucane's never seen the likes of it. He ran into a cement truck. Now Hines with the ball, 40 metres out. This time it's spiral left to right. Katoa wedged between defenders. Cronulla getting hot again in attack. For Ramian, one of their best offloaders. Centre field and going straight through Rudolph. He got the big stride in there and a quick play the ball. Last tackle, Moylan deciding to run. Wilton, great last tackle defence from the Dragons.
Yeah, really nice work, and I thought it was really nice work from Toby Rudolph. That was the shot from Ravalawa underneath the rib cage there of Wilton. Finucane followed up. He got buckled too. Ravalawa, two brutal pieces of defensive work.
That's amazing. That's not Felice Kafusi or one of that, or Jake Trebojevic. That's the right winger for the Dragons, pulling off two technically outstanding tackles and forceful. So Dragons with Mbai, and he's able to pass. Crowd thought they had the markers offside. They're doing it a bit tough getting out of their danger area, the Dragons.
Britton Nicara it is that's down.
Hold his head there, Britton. Tackle 3.
He might have got a finger in the eye, I think, here, Andrew. It was really nice play in that previous set from Ramian, skipping out of dummy half and a crossfield. He found Toby Rudolph punching into a hole. Now they've come up with a couple of errors in their play the ball, trying to force offloads. He did a really good job, Rudolph, just to hang on to the ball, get a good play the ball, and they just couldn't execute on the last play. But it was nice threatening work from Ramian, and this is, well, maybe just cop the head there of Dale Finucane down low.
See what follows up from that. He's on the field for the moment. See if he's called from the field by the independent doctor. Ooh, twist there by Hines. Would want to be careful on the legs of Laurie. So Dragons now with Bird out on the field. So Musgrove has had his opening stint and he's gone to the bench through 14 minutes. Sharks with the ball. And Kennedy to bring it back. The try scorer for the home team. It's a try that'll probably feature in the highlights reel for the season, I would reckon. It's a stunning try from the Sharks.
Last week there was a real focus from the Dragons to play direct against Brisbane. They've come out with a different game plan somewhat against the Sharks, trying to get some passing in between their middle forwards. Now when you start Musgrove, you think you're going all out power. It's a strange plan from Griffin to start Musgrove, but then go into a two-pass sort of type game plan.
Tackle 4.
So
okay, Britton's got to go
now
HIA.
has been called from the field, so he'll have
He just had to go
a
HIA,
mandatory
mate.
stint off the field. And Jack Williams will come into the game. Third appearance for the season for Jack, who's coming off the back of a season interrupted by shoulder reconstruction, so it's good to have Jack back. And Cronulla with the ball. They're saying a grade 2, so he's not automatically ruled out of the game, Nicara, and if he passes the test, he will return. Hines kicking from 45 metres out. Sloane's not near it. It's Fionnay's ball, and then Fionnay, was he mid-air or not?
No, he had one foot on the ground. Well, that's a late call there from the referee. It looked like he had his left foot down on the ground. Jack Williams has just come onto the field, aggressive on the kick chase. Let's have a look here. Both feet off the ground. Oh, gee.
Yeah, simultaneous, just about. Anyway.
Yeah. You get a couple of those at your home ground.
There we go. Dragons back up to within 10 of halfway, and Lomax linking straight up with Murdoch-Masila. Averaged 57 metres a game across his first two appearances for the Dragons. On the left edge, now Molo with the ball.
He was great last week, Molo.
Mbai. Right side. Sullivan goes short, but the defence having none of that. Sewell went straight to ground as the Dragons with Hunt Motioning man to come inside. That man is Murdoch Masilla. Now 30 away. And Sullivan and Jack Bird, member of the Sharks Premiership side alongside of you, Mick. The good old days, back in the day. Last tackle here, St George Illawarra, Hunt to bomb. This one, centre field, Kennedy, eyes on the ball. Great take, Will Kennedy. What an improved player he is. And then penalty straight away, Cronulla.
In front of the kicker there, Jack Bird. And just watching this game plan from the Dragons, it is just relentless in terms of how expansive they're looking to play this evening. They're just going sideline to sideline, all interchange of pass through the middle. They've obviously seen something from the Sharks' defensive line through the week where they're feeling like they can expose them, but I liked the look of the Dragons last week, albeit that last 10 minutes, they were physical and tough through the middle. We're not seeing that tonight from the Dragons.
Anthony Griffin, coach of the Dragons, desperate for a win against Cronulla. He won his first 2 against them, has lost 12 straight. That's some losing run against the Sharks. Now Moylan, he had Hines in support. 10 metres inside the Dragons half. Brayley on the run, markers retreating. So there's another 10 metres easily, and then late offload. Kennedy, left side, Cronulla on a roll. Good tackle by Laurie. Last tackle Cronulla, there could be a kick coming out right wing. Now Hines has got other thoughts. Attacks the left, Talakai, pressure on Mulitalo, throws it long, almost a Hail Mary, then Ramian puts it down. A little bit of danger in that pass from Mulitalo.
Yeah, there was a Dragons defender just lurking in the middle of the field. Had it have been an outside back, I think it might have been Andrew. And middle forwards just hovering through the middle.
6-0 scoreline, Sunday Night Rugby League exclusive to Fox. We are 18 minutes into the contest, and a penalty goes the way of St George Illawarra. That should put them deep inside the Sharks' half. That news we brought you on Fox League before kick-off. Great news for Penrith. Zayo signed up until the end of 2027 in a week where he will play his 200th game for the Panthers. Now the ball with Molo for the Dragons. 30 metres away from the Sharks line. Second tackle done. Bird, Hunt, cut-out ball, and defence just ready and waiting to make the tackle on Sewer. But it is yet another chance for St George Illawarra, who are completing at 80%, so they're giving themselves a chance against the Sharks. Offloading game not really seen yet from the Dragons. Sullivan and a lovely tackle on Sewer. That was from Teague Wilton. Great one-on-one tackle. Last play, Dragons, Sullivan, knocked down, play on, centre 6 again for the Dragons. They might only need one, they will. Hunt goes over, and then kicks the ball out of the ground. Someone's got a souvenir, and I think it's English Avenue out that way. And Ben Hunt scores a try, the first of the night for the Dragons.
Yeah, on the back of a penalty, they go upfield, the Dragons, and it's their key man, Ben Hunt, running the ball, got on the outside of Hines. It all started on the last play. Sullivan trying to feed the ball through on a grubber, ricocheted and played at by Uele. And then all of a sudden, Benny Hunt just scoops it up, gets on the outside of Nico Hines. You'll see on the replay here, straight away, Benny Hunt looking to attack, skips, gets off that right foot, ball in 2 hands, shows hard, then accelerates, and Hines just slips off the hips of Hunt. And he accelerates the little number 7 towards the try line at the northern end of Jubilee. Gets them back in the game, the Dragons.
Yeah, what a positional battle. You highlighted it earlier, Michael. You don't often see it so much one-on-one, and there's a big victory to Ben Hunt.
Such a strong ball runner, Ben. He's always breaking that first tackle. And when he comes in the mindset where he's willing to run and challenge the defensive line, which he's done a couple of times already tonight, The Dragons are a far better side.
Good tally of tries in the career, 74 of them now for Ben Hunt. Yeah, there have been those times where he scores those tries close to the line. You say, that's a Joey Johns.
Yeah.
But he decides to do that one little half step and back his power to get him over.
Well, he just moved his hips on Hines, just a fraction to his outside, and that was enough for Nico to have to grab rather than use shoulder contact, and then he's too strong. Too strong.
Lomax shooting for 6 all. Ooh, it's a bludger. He's hurt his leg kicking that one. I don't know what happened there.
He has opted for a smaller tee this year. He's looking for a lower punch type kick, and it hasn't worked that well for Lomax to start the year. There's the ricochet from Ueli, and look at this. Watch Hunt just move there, bang, just with his hips to the outside of Hines. Yeah, nice work from Ben Hunt.
Well, that was I'd call that Lomax shot the Minwoo Lee stinger. Used to be the Tiger Woods stinger, but if you watch the young Australian, Minwoo Lee has become the master of the stinger, and he says tee it up higher for the stinger. So there's some advice you can take from golf into rugby league.
I'll get down to the tunnel with Zach at half time.
Just pull out a 2-iron and show him what you mean. Ravalawa fields the kick-off, and boy, he is wound up tonight. Michaeli Ravalawa, imagine him running at you. You'd want to have been to Bunnings and have a pickaxe, wouldn't you? Have any chance.
Nice footwork there from Surley, back on the inside of Wilton.
Dragons now after their first points and spreading the ball. Murdoch-Masilla. Just outside the 30, they get a penalty again. They're on a little bit of a roll here. The red and whites, St George Illawarra.
Well, Bird's made a difference. He's come on through the middle of the field as he's done the last couple of weeks, and he's ball playing. And it just frees up Hunt and young Sullivan, Jaden Sullivan, to sit on the edge and be able to ball play. Fitzgibbon watching on closely. And a penalty on the third tackle, and all of a sudden the Dragons up the point straight back in the Cronulla Sharks half.
Of course, Fitzgibbon in the playing days, former Illawarra Steeler, former St George Illawarra Dragon. So the Dragons here on the back of their first try, good momentum with them, even leading up to the try. They've had the better of play. And now a good, healthy rate of possession as well. Murdoch-Masilla tackled by Hines there. Scoop up, nice work. Moses Mbai. Molo then in support. 9 metres from the line. Dragons with 2 tackles up their sleeve. Mbai to Hunt. Big line right. Sullivan right foot step. Tackled low by Wilton. Last play, Dragons quickly in position with Bird. I think he dropped it before he kicked it.
I've got first off Cronulla. First Cronulla, okay. Scrum St George feed.
First off Cronulla. Do they want to challenge that? They want to make a quick call here. It didn't appear to be a particularly clean strike from Jack Bird.
Well, I thought it was knocked on from Cronulla. It wasn't a clean strike, but he just touched it there off the outside of his right boot. And again, it's Welle that just is unable on the last to regather possession. And field position and possession really mounting and starting to take its toll now. The Dragons, well, they're up to 56% of the ball, and it's all come in this last 10 minutes.
Yes, completion rate 11 of 13. St George Illawarra now through 23.5 minutes. Threatening to post back-to-back tries here. Sullivan has been confident, the young 5'8". Definitely an exciting talent, the number 6 for the Dragons. So St George Illawarra with Hunt, slows it down, tries a fend on Williams. Play will break down there, that is the second. Mbai, close to the posts, why not? With Laurie, he's already got a try this year, doubled his career try tally, mind you. Moses Mbai goes short. Crash at the line with Bird. Laurie cleared it out of there. Hunt goes long. Lomax now. Confronted by Ramiel. Murdoch-Masilla. Slow to Hunt to keep it going for Bird to do the same. And that time, good tackle by Moylan. Last tackle, St George Illawarra. Sullivan, they're running it again, and they're over the Dragons. Jaden Sewer scores the try. Right in front of the scoreboard. And the Dragons converting dominance in play to points.
Really nice work out on that right-hand side. It all came off the knock on from Welle on the last tackle. It was a kick from Bird. And there it is, just unable to hang on to it, the big fella, and another set down on the Sharks line. This time a good play the ball was from Molo. And it got Sullivan going deep into the line, playing over the advantage line, and Bai finds him out on that right edge. And a lovely pass. And Talakai caught in narrow. Sewer just slipped on his outside. The big fella enjoys it. And so do the Dragons fans. Dragons in front for the first time this afternoon. And nice work from Jaden Sewer. That was a nice set piece there from young Sullivan. They had Sully coming back on the inside, which just held up the Cronulla defensive line and allowed Sewer just to skip on the outside of Talakai. Got caught ball watching for a moment. And then Sewer it is that just slipped through. As Griffin watch on closely. He knows the record. He heard you before, Andrew. He said 12 straight, Andrew.
He said, you have to mention that, boss. He's a very dry character. Good man, Anthony Griffin. And his team has conceded the first try here. Quite a dazzling start by Cronulla. And they've come back hard, and they've come back with 2 tries. It's got all the signs of a thriller, this one, of going right down to the wire. Lomax, every kick important. This time he's gone right to left. Yeah, grab that 2-iron, Mick. You're required in the tunnel half-time.
Again, another low punching kick from Lomax. You go back and watch him last year, and he sat the ball really high, and he got a lot of height and distance. There's the work from Sewer. Great vision that on Fox League. Just watching him drift and float on the outside of Talakai, who was just watching Sullivan ball playing and lost him in that split second. But really concerning for Lomax is his goal kicking.
On the sideline, Darcy McDonald.
Well, Jaden Sullivan making the most of his opportunities in the number 6 jersey. And some good news for the Sharks when they probably need it most. Britton Nicara has passed his HIA and will be back in 2 minutes.
Okay, that is good news. Not much given the corner here, is there? Once you score a try and you slide in the corner, they've got the padding to stop you bowling into the fence. Oh, shot on a Sunday night. That is stirring up the Sunday roast, that one.
Hey, no, you're held all the way back there.
Ravalawa has hit hard and been hit hard and run hard. Everything's hard there with Ravalawa tonight.
What's this? Wow.
Oh, man.
It's Talakai with the right shoulder.
It can be a brutal game. It can be enthralling, scintillating, all of those things. We've got the whole mix here. You've seen it in this one round, round 4 on Fox League. St George Illawarra going along nicely here. 2-point advantage. 13 minutes to go. And Mbai.
Had a good start, Mbai, hasn't he? Particularly his last 10 minutes when they've had all the possession, he's been out threatening.
Last tackle play. The Hunt kick from outside the 40. Fair bit on it, but it's straight down the throat of Kennedy. Come back for Cronulla. And they throw everything at the Sharks fullback. Molo, there is Nicara ready to come back on for the Sharks. They've also sent Oregon Kafusi out there for his first stint.
Gee, they needed this, Cronulla. Penalty from Todd Smith, the referee, just holding down too long. And this will be the first time Cronulla have been down the Dragons' end of the field for quite some time. Hines with a nice kick that gets them up to the 40-metre line. What about the power on the right-hand side as we see Welle there?
Yeah, he was down on all fours when he got off the field. He is distressed almost. Braden Hamlin, well, it's been a good minute. He's been down off the field now. Brayley offloading there. And Cronulla with it.
Oh, look at Blake Laurie. Look at this. Blood streaming from the eye.
Right, it was a straight with him.
Big collision on that previous play.
What happens? Ooh, bang.
He's going on.
Oregon Kafusi's first carry of the night, and Blake just...
Oh, man. Jeez. That's straight into the forehead.
Drew, get a new footy, mate.
Again, Sunday night. You may be sitting down to your dinner right at the moment. And you're just dropping the potatoes. Everything's going everywhere at the moment, watching some of the collisions. Man, that makes you flinch from through the television set.
He's had a good start, Lauren. He's been really good to start the year. He's been a rock for the Dragons. 11 carries for 74 metres. He's done some tough work through the middle.
All right, so Laurie goes off in what is a tough but entertaining contest here at Cogra. Brayley centre field. Moylan just turns it back inside to Kafusi. They're 25 from the Dragons line. Been a little period without having possession this end. Hines now, Talakai, one of the chief tackle busters from last year. And quite a wrestle to get him to ground there. Last play, Cronulla. Hines wants it, Hines gets it. He's kicked through for Ramian. And the chase and leap is there for Fiona. Second time that he's really attacked the footy, the Dragons left winger.
You've got some wonderful athletes, the Dragons, don't they, on the edges. That time it was Fiona, you got Lomax, Ravalawa and Sully have been awesome over on that right-hand side. This is a period of the game where things have sped up a bit for the Dragons in recent weeks. He was tremendous last week. Jacob Little out of dummy half, and often it was on the back of the carries there from Josh Kerr.
Young Toby Couchman is also out there, the Thurul Butcher in jumper 16, just his second appearance in first grade. Sullivan's kick, it sits up at a point. Kennedy has to attack it. And got past, you could say, a flying bird, and he played 15 metres inside his own half. Now Mulitalo, Rudolph coming off for Cronulla, will give Cameron McInnes, the former Dragons captain, his first football of the night. The Sharks with Brayley. Needs a straight runner. That man is McInnes on the run. Into the Dragons half he goes. And another run for Oregon Kafusi, the former Eel. 10 inside Dragons territory, left side this time. Moylan has them guessing. With a skip in front of the line. Sewer, the chief defender there. Last tackle, Hines gets the first receiver. He's going to kick looking for Mulitalo. Here comes Ronaldo. It's just a little too deep for him. Knocked back by Sloan. Play on the Dragons. Wasn't sure whether Mulitalo got a entirely unhindered passage there.
Well, this is the first period of the game where both sides are just trading sets now, and fatigue starting to come through the middle. Outside backs having to work hard. Great shot for Nukin there, just leaning in with the left shoulder on Ravalawa. The game finding some rhythm now, Andrew.
8 points to 6, 9.5 to go. Sunday night here on Fox League. And Sunday night with Matty Johns to follow this one. Special guest Sam Verrills and Matt Rogers tonight. The Dragons with Hunt kicking from the 30-metre line. Long, it'll go inside the 10.
Great.
Chases there, a red and white wall has been erected in quick fashion. And Kennedy is blocked out 21 metres away from his own line. That's what you want on the end of a set.
Oh, yeah. Jaden Sewer.
So Cronulla being a bit tough in this set. Mulitalo comes in. Little went low in the tackle. The Sharks, that one try early, scored by Kennedy. And that their lone line break in the match. Moylan given the full treatment there on the edge of the Dragons' defence. Well, kick from the short side for Hines. And up comes Sloan. Sloan then is knocked out of the way. They've said play on. Ramian with it for Katoa. Thought he might have put a foot on the line. Then back to Ramian, who gets it down. I don't know about the challenge on Sloan going all the way back.
I think he knocks on anyway, Andrew.
They've got a review on Shaw coming, but right at the moment it's a Cronulla try.
Yeah, down a narrow short side, it's Nico Hines again. He's been there a couple of times this afternoon trying to bring Tyrell Sloan forward. And there's no doubt that I think it's Cameron McInnes that makes contact with Tyrell Sloan. Now, does it come off the hand of Ramian as well? Well, there's the flick pass. That was all fine. He stayed in field. He did well, Katoa, and then Ramian did well to get back on his feet. He came into collision here with Lomax, and Jacob Little spins out of the tackle. I don't think there's any problem getting the ball down, Ramian. But I think they'll go back to the collision. I think that's what they're looking at.
See, if that's, defender, and we're talking about ball going through the hand, that's a defender taken out of the play. I mean, the contact is made with Sloan before the ball comes to within his reach.
Well, and the ball, in fact, goes back from Britton Nicara to Ramian. Look, I thought it came off Ramian's hand, but the only thing that can halt this will be the collision with Sloan.
Well, I think they've cleared it. I can't believe that you can say Sloan has had a clear challenge at that ball. It is above his reach when he is knocked out of the play. So he hasn't had a chance to touch it. How? That's quite baffling. We've had an afternoon of baffling. The Warriors winning try today left a massive question mark.
Gee, the
and the
fans aren't enjoying this, no.
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 Ramian gets a try. He had the 100-game milestone match last week, and the Sharks are back in front 10-8. But I'll stand by saying that is rather baffling what happened there. So Hines for a second success. Lomax is 0 from 2. Hines finished last year with a bit of a run. And now he's got 2 from 2 on his return. He kicked his last 8 straight last season, Nico Hines, so he's now 10 in a row. 12-8, Cronulla over the Dragons.
Yeah, here it is, and it's... They're saying that Cameron McInnes' eyes are on the ball, but he's ahead of where it's going to land, and he takes out Tyrell Sloan from having an opportunity to get to it.
If Sloan's a defender and they're passing through the hands and contact's made with him,
it's baffling.
It's an obstruction play. You've denied him a chance to do his work. 12-8. Rugby League can deliver. Controversy. Now, I say before, they're bedfellows. Cronulla with the ball, 15 metres out from their own line. Manly's still blowing up about a forward pass. Bulldogs are blowing up about an obstruction. Dragons fans are blowing up about that.
Oh, here we go, one-on-one steal.
Dragons have got the ball back. Chance for points, 6 minutes away from half-time. And now Bird. And on for Josh Kerr. He's 12 metres from the line. Little, they sweep left. Couchman onto it. But down in the tackle there of Royce Hunt and Nicara. St George Illawarra at 2 tries all, but trailing by 4. Bird offloaded. And so far so good for the Sharks defence. They're only completing at 65% Cronulla. They'd be disappointed about that. Bird and Hunt. Hunt with a kick. This will test them. Kennedy's there. And a line drop out the result. But Ben Hunt has had a good first half.
Nicely weighted kick from Ben Hunt. Deep into the line, looking out. Created the space in behind. Just dribbled it on the outside of the right boot. Kennedy well positioned. And again, the Dragons able to maintain pressure. Be surprised if they don't head towards their right-hand side a little here, the Dragons. The Sharks have been left short a couple of times out towards Talakai and Mulitalo.
So Sharks with Hines, and he goes long. No thought of short drop out there. Here comes Ravalawa, ripping into them. Kinner stood his ground there for the Sharks. Kerr follows up on play 2. This is everything you expect from a derby between the Sharks and the Dragons tonight. Couchman on the red line, the 20-metre line. Sharks end, Little, Sullivan, Hunt, into the play, comes Sloan, backed himself, lost his footing in the Talakai tackle. A little closer now, Sully to Hunt. And a settling play there for Kerr.
Hurt his leg, Sloan. He's in trouble on the far side, Andrew.
All right, Sloan is down. Last tackle, Dragons, and they go that way. Hunt's got the kick to the in goal again. Putting pressure on Cronulla. They find an answer, but it will result in another line dropout.
This is the Sloan injury where he just got on the outside there of Moylan, and it's Talakai that just launches in low. And then Ben Hunt's short kicking game's been sublime in this opening half. Again, weight perfect. But there was a touch there.
From Surley, the bunker has had a little say in that, had a quick look and ruled the last touch was St George Illawarra. So that's quite the let-off for Cronulla.
Great carry there from Kennedy. Tough carry.
On the 40-metre line. Yep. And again, a little loose. There's been some untidy play from Cronulla. Brayley was able to clean that one up.
It was a good shot from Ben Hunt. Ball and all on Matt Moylan, and the ball just came spewing out the back. Lucky to get away with that, Cronulla.
It is the contrast at the moment, though. Dragons have completed 18 sets, 90%. Cronulla, 11 sets, 65%. Yet they find themselves in front, and Hines, a pass to Wilton, who throws it forward to Hines, and the referee is right there to see it. But some of the touches, you're seeing it at home on Fox League. Brilliant from Hines tonight.
My gosh, he looks good here. Just beautiful work from McInnes. Nice and direct, sucking in the defensive line and turning the corner, Hines. Great ball for Wilton. And he just couldn't execute it, Teague. Floated forward. Hines and Moylan both pushing on the inside, and a chance on the stroke of half-time. Gone begging for Cronulla. And given their errors, and some of their fundamental errors, had they have gone in then at 18-8, Craig Fitzgibbon, I think, would be wrapped given how much improvements in the Cronulla side.
That goes down as another incomplete set there from Cronulla, their second line break of the night. They've got the Dragons for offloads, 9-3 the offload count in this first half. 2 minutes remaining, but it's high in quality and entertainment, this one.
When they get their shape right and their execution right, Cronulla, they're really troubling the Dragons, but just too many errors, too many ill-executed moments in their attack at the moment.
Halftime show coming up here. Braithen Astor, Corey Parker, Greg Alexander, Emma Tonegado reviewing a number of moments from this first half. And last tackle with Hunt's. Big kick way over the head of Kennedy. And back he goes. Wasn't about to let it bounce another occasion. It's a confident Will Kennedy at the back for Cronulla. So 12-8 scoreline. Final minute of this first half. Oh, pressure here. Play the ball in front of the posts. The Sharks thought they'd had spiders on it. No one picks it up. Dragons have got the ball. What a chance. Right on the stroke of half-time. Craig Fitzgibbon, there's been some great moments, but gee, there's been some horrors as well. Bird is held up there by the Sharks defence. Looking for Ben Hunt to steer them over. They go the crash play with Kerr. Hunt pointing on the left side of the ruck. It'll come his way this time. Here's Hunt, not kicking, fighting Murdoch Basilla. And now they set right, last tackle, maybe last chance for points this half. Hunt with it, aims at the posts. And Moylan with a pretty forceful palm knocks it over the dead ball line. What happened here, Mick? You're the expert at dummy half play.
Well, Benny Hunt just stood his ground there, but no dummy half. Moylan accelerated to try and get there. And that was the kick from Hunt right on half-time. He's been good.
So, a lot to like about this contest. I know the margin is 4, but I don't think anyone's confident right at this point that the 2 points is anywhere near the bag, in the bag for Cronulla. Half-time, Sharks 12, Dragons 8. Second half underway from Net Strata Jubilee off the boot of Blake Laurie. Blake Brayley. I'd like to say Blake Laurie's. We'll edit that out. Dragons with the ball. Ravalawa had his moments in the first half. I think that means there could be a Blake Laurie try in this second half. Backing him home for a big season. Bird on the run there for St George Illawarra outside their 30. So Little playing dummy half. It was probably pretty tough to take Moses Mbai off. He was going so well for St George Illawarra. The side functioned well around the starting number 9 tonight. Into the Sharks half they go. Little for Hunts. It's a bomb from 45 metres out. And calling for it, Mulitalo, falling take. Looks up and Sloan is right in front of him. And Cronulla have the ball for the first time in the second half. So they ended at 58%. Their completion rate in the first half with 11 from 19. Obviously that would have been spoken about at the break. It would come as some surprise if they could do the same second half and win. Ramian on that run. Certainly if Dragons keep up their ball control and give themselves a few chances. Now McInnes, ramrod straight on that run. Last tackle Cronulla. Hines in position to kick. Gets good service. Kick from 5 metres inside his own half. Sloan straight up with Fionney. And the Dragons now their second set for the second half. And out for Sully. A little quiet, Moses Sully. Hasn't had a whole lot of quality ball tonight. And then, well, there's an error from St George Illawarra that could really hurt early in this second half.
Yeah, ball control tremendous from the Dragons in the opening 40 minutes, and with their second set of the second half in collision there, Sully just getting that right arm free, and you could just see Sullivan took his eyes off the ball. And a turnover for Cronulla. He's frustrated, he's not happy with that, Jaden Sullivan.
Right then, scrum 30 metres out. All the players open side for Cronulla. Look at how deep they are.
Yeah.
Back into their own half. They're lined up, ready to run. Moylan, Hines, cut out ball. Ramian gets on the outside of Lomax. Beats Hunts. Now inside the 20 on play 1. Big opportunity Cronulla here. With a 4-point lead. Nicara on that run. Now they're set deep and left. Certainly nothing flat about the attacking line of Cronulla. McInnes delivers that short straight runner. Royce Hunt there. Caught in the tackle of Little. Brayley finds McInnes. Almost exploding at the Dragons' defence. Set restart Cronulla. Brayley, Hines, Moylan tip on, beautiful! On the end of it, Mulitalo diving in for the Sharks. If you blink, you miss. Probably 2 passes there in the attacking rush left. Another very good rugby league try from Cronulla.
Yeah, well, it was the Dragons that buckled first, and on the back of an error from Moses Sully, that is great skill from Matt Moylan. The ability to tap on there to Super Talakai, who was right in his pocket, under pressure from the jamming Sully. Ravalawa jammed too, and that left some space on the outside for this young, brash, athletic Ronaldo Mulitalo. Sullivan couldn't get there, and Cronulla extend their lead. Watch this from Moylan under pressure. That is brilliant. The touch, so soft, but so effective. And Mulitalo locks the ball in the right hand, and doesn't he enjoy it?
Right into the lap of the photographer down there in the corner. He had a try assist for the opening dazzling try of the match, and now snares one of his own. And the career try tally of Mulitalo continues to rise. He's closing in on 50, 47 now for Ronaldo.
Yeah, be disappointed with that Moses Sully. They've been really good in their yardage game tonight. It's been tremendous from Ravalawa and Sully and Jaden Sewer down that right-hand channel, and just a lack of concentration, looking to offload instead of just getting a play the ball in Cronulla. And a strike early.
I pulled up Tanner Boyd yesterday in the run. Hines is sitting at 10 in a row. One from the sideline. Nico Hines. Run into 10. So, margin is 8. Let's go sideline to Darcy McDonald.
Well, Dragons coach Anthony Griffin won't be happy with the error that led to that try. He acknowledged the 91% completion rate at halftime and was hoping it would pay them back in this second half. As for the Sharks, Craig Fitzgibbon wanted to see more connection, so he'll be pleased with that. Just a note on Oregon Kaufusi. He was suffering concussion symptoms at halftime, so he underwent a HIA. Good news, he has passed and he will be back very shortly.
Interesting one there.
Yeah.
Darcy McDonald on the sideline. So Dragons wanting to be the next to score. Certainly the fans want that. 8 points, that's a big enough margin, they would be saying, to concede to the visitors. Cronulla 15 metres away from their own line. But the opportunity presented by the ill-discipline with ball from the Dragons.
I think it's in fact the 8 points at the moment that Craig Fitzgibbon would be most pleased with, as we see Kennedy finding some space in behind the ruck. The defensive lines looked a lot better from Cronulla tonight.
Now Brayley, they've picked it up a notch since half-time. This is a good set after their third try of the match. Brayley to the right for Hines to kick before the last. He turns Fionney around, and Fionney will do well to advance a metre there, surrounded by defenders.
Just look at the Dragons attackers here, struggling to get back walking already. It's only been 5 minutes in the second half, but struggling to get back on side after that kick from Hines.
Yeah, and I looked down on the bench and they've reacted. Anthony Griffin, he's already made sure an interchange card is handed to Francis Molo to get back on early in this second half. So look for a big run from the Dragons number 8 in a short space of time. Last tackle here for St George Illawarra. Couchman, the player off for the Dragons. Hunt with it. Step McInnes. Now kicks high on the run. Floating bomb. Could land anywhere. Could bounce anywhere. And bounce the way of Mulitalo. They get a bit lucky there, Cronulla. 20 out from their own line. Katoa for the Sharks. They're still great to watch, aren't they? Kennedy, Katoa, Mulitalo. There's a lot of good back threes in the comp. I don't know whether I enjoy watching a back three better than what Cronulla have got. They're fine attacking players. A lot of tries between them. Here's Brayley on to Moylan, stepping and swerving back across field into the little tackle. Brayley, McInnes, Hines, cut-out ball. Ramian's had a pretty good night, and that was a good tackle by Fionney. Oh, dummy half again. No dummy half, Cronulla. Now chip over the top, Kennedy chasing through, got it on the thigh, play on for a moment.
Oh, they got it back.
And the Sharks have got it back. Determination personified there by Cronulla to get to the loose ball. McInnes and on with Hunts. The Dragons in a precarious position here. Defending again inside their 20. Moylan for Kennedy. The tap on this time is ill-directed and over the sideline. They got a bit fancy.
Yeah, well, it started with Kennedy. The chip over the top, no dummy half there for Cronulla, and instinct at its absolute best. Just chips over the top, gets around Bird, knees it through. Sloan can't pick it up, and somehow they came away with the ball, the Sharks, through McInnes, and then a tap on from Will Kennedy just behind Ronaldo Mulitalo.
Second time in the match, no dummy half.
Amazing.
And an absolute mad scramble for it from there. Bottom line, it was a good result for the Dragons at 16-8. 8 minutes into the second half. So short break there. Time for the Dragons to get going. Molo follows instructions, takes that first hit up. Been sent back out there with a job to do, maybe earlier than they had scheduled, but a sluggish start to the second half. Fed along to Sewer, now for Sully. A couple of powerful centres posing each other there. This time with Bird. 10 metres inside the Cronulla half. And Hunt looking for another towering kick. Here it goes from Ben Hunt. Will it be a genuine contest for the ball? It is between Cronulla teammates. Not a Dragon. Moylan and Kennedy. Almost a disaster there for Cronulla.
What was Matt Moylan doing then? It looked like it was Kennedy's ball for all money, and then Moylan just came looping through. Gee, he did well to hang on to it, Kennedy.
Watch the replay box.
Oh.
What was going through Matt Moylan's head? It's the fullback's ball all day. Hines floats the ball over the top. We've got to it. And then penalty. Crowd unhappy. Wonderful sight now as we go into Sunday night. This hill,
Yeah, it looks great.
just the way that we're in such the lucky country that we can have supporters in a local derby mixed together right across the hill. You know, you look at the EPL, one of the biggest competitions in the world. No way this would happen. You know, way supporters, you can have your little corner. And look at that hill there. Plenty of Sharks fans up among the Dragons fans. There'd be good banter up there.
Great kick upfield from Hines. Really good touch finder, 50 metres upfield.
20 metres away from the line. Cronulla getting on top in this one. Hunt to play it 9 metres away from the Dragons line. Completion rate starting to improve for the Sharks, and what a difference it makes. Hines has been superb on return. It's like he's wearing the Dahlia medal around his neck as one of the supreme talents of our game now. And he sets up another try on his return.
Well, Nicara, he scores 9 tries now in his last 9 games. And again, look at this, out of a cannon, Britt Nicara. There's no better line runner in the game. And it was Hines that just parked himself behind the ruck. He swung out to that right-hand side, just lobbed the ball into space. Didn't need to do anything else. And it was Nicara at full tilt, full acceleration, charged into the space. And he goes over and extends the lead for Cronulla, and doesn't he enjoy it? Britt Nicara, one of the great edge-back rowers. His timing is to perfection on those lead lines.
New Zealand international scores another 4-pointer. And Hines' super coach numbers, for those of you who play and plenty watching Fox League right now, do, if you quickly drafted him into your side for this week. 3 line break assists and 2 try assists now for Nico Hines with still 28 minutes to go.
When he first came into first grade, Nicara, he obviously took over that spot from Luke Lewis, and his line running off Sean Johnson was immaculate. And then I felt the following year he tried to turn himself into a bit of a ball player and looked to offload at times and went away from that line running. He's got himself back to it. His combination with Moylan and Hines is awesome as Hines adds the extras, and boy, he's had a great start of the year, Britt Nicara.
All Cronulla points in the second half. The Sharks 22, the Dragons 8.
Well, there's no one happier about Nico Hines' return than Britt and Nicara. The two formed a lethal combination on the right edge last season and have picked up where they left off in Hines' return game. Now, there's been a change in fate for Sharks forward Oregon Kaufusi. He won't be coming back. The medical staff have decided to rule him out for the rest of the game.
Second half numbers, that's not good news for Cronulla on the injury front. They've completed 7 of 8 in the second half, and look what they're doing with the ball. Couple of line breaks, 2 tries on the board, and now margin outside 2 converted tries. It's like a simple maths equation. You hold the ball and you've got a damn good attack. Things will happen. And here they are, straight after another try. Wilton, like a march up to the 40-metre line. Ravalawa is limping back. He got stepped. I think he twisted his ankle. So Ravalawa, their big legs. It's a big limp. Cronulla, McInnes. This is so good from the Sharks now. Dragons just hanging on by a cotton thread at the moment as Hines on the last kick to the corner. Sloaner's going back. He's with the ball and nowhere to go. Absolute perfection in terms of a textbook set to follow points.
His first game of the season, and what a difference he's made to the Cronulla side. Nico Hines, a perfectly weighted kick in behind Fiona and Tyrell Sloan, sat it up beautifully. The chase from Katoa was great. What a night he's having. They go short here, the Dragons.
Well, they have to, don't they? Now, with the margin 14, did they tap it forward? They did, and Cronulla able to cover it up. Sunday night with Matty Johns after the show. No bigger fan of Nico Hines than Matty. He'll have a few things to say about this return. It's a big story tonight. Cronulla back in a big way with their star number 7. 22-8 now. McInnes to Hunt. And poor old Ben Hunt, you know, there's no opportunity in this second half to put his imprimatur on the game. It's all one way at the moment. McInnes and Hines, they get that one wrong, Cronulla.
Yeah, he just hesitated here at dummy half. Was it Blake Brayley or Cameron McInnes that was a dummy half there? I think it was Brayley, and they just hesitated for a second. Yeah, it was Brayley, you can see there. And that was enough for the ball to float forward. He was going to come short side with Moylan and got a call late. And in two minds, just hung on to it for a fraction. And the Dragons finally with some possession. It has been all Cronulla and it's been all their star halfback, Nicho Hynes, just dominating this second half.
Now 25 and a half on the clock, so still plenty of time. But the Dragons need to stem the play. They need a little period here of possession, maybe a penalty, get them up the other end, because it's just hard slog trying to come out of their own half. Real tough for St George Illawarra. I've kept my eye on Ravalawa. He appears to have walked off the limp. And right wing, kept alive by Hunt. There's risk involved there. It was passed back, bounced forward. That's play on. Murdoch-Masila with the ball for St George Illawarra. Just short of halfway. Little able to make 7 or 8 metres. Last tackle play. And then, it's just not happening here. And then Sloan kicks the ball 50, 60 metres downfield. They're struggling, the Dragons.
Yeah, it's been a tough second half, hasn't it, so far for them? And it all stems back to their first set or second set with the ball. An offload from Moses Sully, if you've just joined us. Only 12-8 at half-time. And he got it horribly wrong. And from that moment, the Sharks have just put the foot on the throttle. Anthony Griffin not enjoying himself. He's disappointed.
The brains trust, all these boxes, well, I guess you call them the faceless men, but there's Paddy Goff there, one of the analysts for the Dragons. They'd be crunching the numbers. I'm not sure whether they would have anything positive. I don't know what they would say at this point. Second half, in isolation, Hynes is through again. And Ramian hit. There's a cry of Sir there, high tackle.
He is carving them to pieces at the moment. Nicho Hynes just finding ways through this Dragons defensive line with ease. There's the high contact from Murdoch-Masila.
Oh, this is a big set right now for the Dragons on home soil in the local derby. You're down 22-8. You've done a lot of defending in this second half. Sharks have had 60% of the ball. And here they go again, 20 metres out from the line.
It's all been down this end of the field too.
Make that 15 out with Brayley. And they are just coming in wave after wave, the Sharks. Williams to play it. Brayley, a kick early on the count. He's backing himself, Hynes. They get it back through Moylan. Now Talakai out to Mulitalo. They've done it again, Cronulla. Ronaldo Mulitalo scores another 4-pointer. The audacity of Hynes to kick so early in the count. And the luck is running their way as well, but you make your own luck.
Yeah, even when he gets it wrong, he gets it right. Nicho Hynes, and it comes off the leg there of Jacob Little out to Moylan. The Dragons' defensive line had come up, hadn't they? They'd already made their decisions, and then a great ball out to Talakai, who just accelerated to the corner, fires the pass a little low. He did well to pick it up. Mulitalo lowers his body position, ball in two hands. What a finisher he is, but boy, it's Nicho Hynes who he's just got the Midas touch at the moment.
Beautifully put. Even when he gets it wrong, he gets it right tonight. It is a stunning return. I'm thinking, it's not, is it Tom Trbojevic a few seasons ago? Remember his comeback game and the impact he had
out at Mudgee against the Titans
in making the side look, well, I can't say 10 times better. That would be absolute exaggeration.
9.5.
It's significantly better, and that's even allowing for that. The Braden Trindle's been great the first 3 games, but the side, everyone is playing better around Hynes, and his own stats are extraordinarily good.
I ran into Nicho during the week, and he was genuinely hurting. Like, he was hurting that they weren't able to win down in Canberra. He was hurting after the round 1 loss. He cares so much about his team and his teammates and the results. And you're right, Andrew, the difference that he's made tonight. Boy, he's had a blinder.
Miss to the left there. returning from a calf injury. He was actually a try scorer in both games against the Dragons last year. But tonight he's just been a menace all the way through. Mulitalo, as I said, he's high in the entertainment bracket for NRL players for mine. Ronaldo, he looks like he's having a good time.
He's just absolutely loving it every moment. And he's proving a great finisher. Like he does the work out of the backfield, no problem at all, big body, but when he gets close to the line, well, you can't get that smile off his face.
We were filming for The Fan a couple of seasons ago, and we asked him about his debut. He made his debut last second. Josh Dugan was injured in warm-up.
Yes.
The ball brought back by Rudolph. And he got the call-up literally
right.
30 seconds before the game was due to start. We asked him about it. 10 minutes later, he was answering.
Great ball there from Brayley to McInnes. Sorry, Andrew.
He's over the 30. The wingers might come into play again in a moment. They're going Katoa's side. This is one-way traffic. It's Hines again for Cronulla. Nico Hines passes back. Ramian gets over. Cronulla, the Sharks. Did they make a Jaws 4? Because this could be it here. They are killing the Dragons here. This is an amazing attacking performance by Cronulla in the second half.
Yeah, after points, it's Blake Brayley out of dummy half that found a rampaging Cameron McInnes with just no self-preservation. Just charged through the Dragons' defensive line. And on the back of it, gets a great play of the ball, and off they go. Britton Nicara having an absolute field day on that right-hand side off this man. Nico Hines, absolutely brilliant performance tonight. Did very well, sums it up, gets rid of Tyrell Sloan, a one-hand pass back on the inside to Ramian. Nico Hines just is running right, isn't he?
Yeah, well, in the old-fashioned days of the bookies board, suddenly they're twirling them up. They're bringing the price in at Cronulla. This is a reminder of just how good they can be after a moderate start to this season. The tries they've scored tonight are top shelf.
Well, in the first half, they had great shape, and it was really troubling the defensive line of the Dragons. It was their execution. Matt Moylan said it at halftime perfectly to Darcy McDonald. We're not executing, and they've come out in the second half, and they're controlling the ball, they're executing, and they are just taking the Dragons to task. And it's this man, Nico Hines, just picked up right where he left off last year on his run towards a Dally M.
I didn't see this explosion of points coming. It's gone from 4 the difference to 24 the difference in the local derby. Cronulla on top against St George Illawarra.
Nico Hines was always going to have an impact when he returned. We got a taste of what the reigning Dally M medalist was going to produce this season in the All-Stars clash and a pre-season trial before a calf injury struck. He's been chomping at the bit to get back out there, so it's no surprise to see him heavily involved. Braden Trindle did an admirable job filling in, but it's near impossible to replace Hines' presence on this field. That's why the club is working on a new deal for him. He wants to stay at the Sharks long-term, declaring recently he'd like to finish his career under Craig Fitzgibbon.
After 32 minutes tonight, the Dragons were leading 8-6. We now find ourselves through 61, and they're down by 24. That's a big swing. And I think more or less, though, the story is Cronulla, rather than putting a slipper into the Dragons. I mean, the Sharks are running red hot. McInnes loses the ball there. And really, Dragons have nothing to lose from this point now.
An error here won't please the coach, though. Just looking to catch and pass there under pressure from Ben Hunt, who'd taken himself out of the line. He was complaining of a high shot there from Hunt. Cameron McInnes just questioning Todd Smith, you sure? And it's a turnover now. Well, this is the Dragons' best opportunity of the half. They haven't been down here whatsoever.
So they've stacked the right side here. Look at that. And the Dragons, there are some alarming statistics in the second half. The line break count 6-2 as Hunt. And Molo driven back by the defence of Cronulla. Williams led the way there. Little to Sullivan and Hunt. And now out to Sewer in a right centre spot. Now Ravalawa. Good spiral pass in for Hunts. But is it the same dazzle that the Dragons have as opposed to the Cronulla attack? The answer's probably no at the moment. Little goes on a scurry that almost gets him to the line. In fact, he gets above the line and is held up. So he'll play it on the 10-metre line. 17 to go. 4 converted tries the difference. Score here to give the fans a little bit of hope. Hunts from 15 metres out. Right across the face. Good leap. Chance with Dragons. Cronulla defence too good. And referee Smith said Lomax held long enough. So change over just a few metres out from the Cronulla line. Toa good for the Sharks. Now yet another good charge from Rudolph. And Cronulla getting on the front foot early in this set. Tinnis riled up after his previous error.
Dale Finucane back into the action. Jack Williams is coming from the field. Here's Finucane now.
Just hard running in this set. And now for Hines to kick right from the 40-metre line. Sloan lets it bounce. He's with it now. And Ravalawa for St George Illawarra. So the last Dragons try in the match, their second was in the 25th minute when Sewer scored and then converted, or the misconversion by Lomax. And we were thinking the goal kicks could be important, but
yeah,
now it's got right away from them. And we'll want to see something in this last 16 minutes, though. It's only early season, but you wouldn't want to see a 40 or 50-point loss in a local derby next to your name. Little, and there is Hunts. Pushing along further. Bird cut down there and a lovely tackle from Hines low. Still a chance with Sloan. And a chip over the top. Sullivan on the run. Kennedy's everywhere with the ball for Cronulla and returns it with interest. He's been a fine contributor tonight to the performance. So is this man, Wilton.
Yeah. He's been excellent on the left edge.
Playing full 80 minutes now, Teague Wilton. Big run, Talakai in 3 plays. Trip was a call from the Cronulla players. Moylan, Hines. That could be the Phantom Siren in the background. I don't think he's going to fall for it with 15 to go, but maybe he's got an early morning tomorrow. Moylan's kick has been knocked on by St George Illawarra. They'll go again, Cronulla. They'll get ready to go again.
Yeah, Sullivan's going to go on report for that alleged trip.
Okay, time off.
Time off here.
It's a scrum here to Cronulla for the knock on. Jaden, you on report for that contact back to down the field, mate?
This was the moment with Jaden Sullivan. He just sticks out that right leg.
Oh.
Yes, no doubt he'll be in some trouble for that. There's no question. And you just saw that Ben Hunt moment. He got one of those right, didn't he, at Origin last year where he read the chip over the top. Just unable to regather Matt Moylan's chip over the top. He's got great awareness, Benny Hunt. Just couldn't land that. He's tried his guts out again tonight, the Dragons half, hasn't he?
Cronulla ready to attack again. One of those plays where they're all over on the one side of the scrum. Moylan gets them started. Hines delivers the short ball. The Dragons trying to hang on again. Wilton on play 1. Brayley, Rudolph tips it on nicely for Finucane. Just held down the tackle. A Bird in front of the Dragons posts. Then they play a bit of twist and then Bird will be, well, Jack, you can't push him back down.
Yeah, it's frustration. You saw it on the previous play from Jaden Sullivan on Teague Wilton. He threw a little extra into the tackle and then Cronulla just need to keep the foot on the gas here.
26, of course, takes them outside 4 converted tries, but they're not even...
What's the hold up here, Andrew? Yeah, there you go.
He's on report
he did. He threw a little bit into the tackle of Teague Wilton off the scrum. And emotion's getting high here for the Dragons players.
He might get a hat-trick. Jaden Sullivan. He's 2 for 2 in the last couple of minutes. 3 reports in a row. We've never had that before in the history of the report system. Ball with Hines, crashing onto the ball. Sharks too good. And then loses the ball, Braden Hamlin-Welle over the line. And Dragons showing some pride in the last line of defence. Braden getting a lot of pats on the head, but I don't think he's got the winning lotto ticket.
Yeah, I love when they use the big man a little wider. And Welly just with big body, good footwork, good acceleration. Does Sloan hold him up? Gets his body underneath. This is great from Sloan. This is brilliant. Ball comes free. Yeah, no.
Yeah, wow.
Loses control. What
Braden
a tackle there from
loses
Tyrell
control
Sloan.
of the ball onto the leg of the St George Illawarra player. We have a decision.
There we go.
And that's what people wanted to see from Tyrell Sloan. Everyone wanted to talk about his brilliance, but he had those moments defensively where they wanted to see his body in front. Well, it's right there. That's a great moment from Tyrell Sloan.
Yeah, good stuff. At 32-8, a try save like that. I mean, that's another 6. That's 38-8, front rower. Full pelt. This is Sullivan. Yeah. Then Bird pushes play over Dragons. Be careful. I mean, lose the game, but don't lose players as well. Now they drop the ball. I mean,
they're in quicksand, the Dragons.
Well, this is the shopping trolley with the wonky wheels, isn't it? The Dragons at the moment. It's you can't push it in the direction you want it to go, no matter how hard you try. The stats guys, Ellis, what would they pass on of a positive nature?
Yeah, Sewer this time looking to offload. Yeah, just took his eyes off it. Zane Musgrove was just, look at Ronaldo, he's enjoying himself now, the big fella. Well, this time Cronulla for the first time haven't got all their attack on one side, going from midfield.
Well, they've shown their hand. Hines quickly flashes around from left side to open side. Will they go the same play again? They will on take 2. Hines and Moylan. They've got these big bodies out either side in the set. It's Talakai on one side, Ramian on the other.
What are you going to do? Huh? Take the penalty? Okay.
So, full penalty here. Do they want to repack the scrum?
They're taking the penalty.
They're taking the penalty rather than repack the scrum for the offside. So a little hold up, and here go Cronulla again. All Sharks since half time. Every stat you look at. Brayley, Hines, Hamlin-Welle, another big run. You've got to look at the line last time. Brayley 10 away. And Hines floats it over the top. It's another one. Nico Hines. Well, they might name a medal after him. Someone down the track might win the Nico Hines medal. That's how well he's going. This is an astonishing return.
Yeah, brilliant vision here from Nico Hines. It's been 5 stars tonight, and he just recognises that the Dragons are short. Defensive numbers, and he sits at the ruck. He's counting numbers, pulls the trigger. Bird slow to get back. Okay, bang, there you go. Cut out pass. Fiona caught infield, no communication. 4 attackers against 3 defenders. Fiona just jamming in, left enormous space on the outside for Sione Katoa. That is brilliant halves play. Brilliant halves play from Nico Hines. Giving himself the option to swing open, but just waiting and waiting and waiting for the Dragons to get it wrong. And when they got it wrong, he got it right.
Do you know, we're only talking about, I was looking back at his time in Melbourne. The first time he started at halfback in his career was round 23, 2021.
There you go.
That's the first time he started as halfback in the NRL. That is a season and a half ago, basically.
Well, it was a bold signing, wasn't it, from Cronulla? They were adamant that he was going to be their halfback, and he's come in and delivered. Oh gosh, he's been good tonight.
Goal kicking duties as well, and this one from the sideline, why not? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mentioned Mr. Whippy earlier.
He's gone.
I think Hines, he deserves a couple of double cones and the flake. Not just one. I think every Sharks fan will be buying him an ice cream tonight.
Geez, that's a great ball.
big scoreline in a local derby, 38-8, and the grim stat that is Anthony Griffin against the Sharks, no matter who he coaches. It's almost like you have to stand him down next time they play. Have a week off. Get a touch of the COVID or something.
Just Tuesday when the team list comes out.
No Griffin. He's
available.
I'm unavailable. I'm sitting it out. I'm sick of this. 13 straight defeats. He won his first 2 while coaching at Brisbane. You know when that was? 12 years ago. Hasn't beaten the Sharks in the past 12 years. Now Brayley for Wilton. Very much unsung hero category, Wilton's performance. Finucane. So the Sharks, when they get it right, the threats on both sides of the field. And then the wingers on the end of it. Katoa, Mulitalo, Moylan, last tackle. Off and running again, even falling. Talakai got a kick in. Sloan with it for the Dragons. 26-0, second half. That's emphatic.
He's hurt here, Toby Rudolph.
Seven tries to 2. St George Illawarra with the ball. They will have to more or less go back to the drawing board after tonight. Moses Mbai. Oh no, not another. Not another. Lomax wants a challenge. That's the ball planting rule, I think, coming into play. You got to get to your feet. Can't just plant the ball on the ground.
The ruling is lost control playing the ball, didn't get to his feet to play it. No control.
If they're true to their word of pre-season, they're not going to rule Lomax's way. If he's not going to rise to his feet, unless it's a deliberate push.
Zach Lomax plants the ball on the ground and doesn't regain his feet and loses control of the ball.
There we go. That's
the challenge by the St George is unsuccessful.
That's their interpretation this year on show. Maybe he didn't get the memo.
I think that's a little tough. I think if Nicara hadn't have pushed him and leaned on top of him, I think he gets to his feet to finish the play the ball.
Okay.
I'm not sure he had the reward in that tackle, Nicara, to be able to come back and make contact with Lomax as he played it. But
you've mounted a fair argument, Michael. Case dismissed.
Yeah.
The Sharks with the ball.
Thrown out.
20 away from the line. Cronulla going again, looking to go into the 40s here. Oh, it'll be Dragons fans head down if they work down Cronulla way in the Shire tomorrow. If the score does get into the 40s. Brayley and Rudolph. It's the only blowout of the round, this one. McInnes now. Cross. Moylan dropped it and may have got a foot to it on the way down. They say play on. Nicara with the ball. 7 minutes to go. The Sharks, this time it's a big line deep left. Starts off Finucane. Moylan has hits and captured there. So that ends that play. Not able to gather it in. Sewer got him. Finucane. McInnes in dummy half mode now. Even with Brayley out there. Moylan's decided to kick. And Sloan kicks it into the crowd for a line dropout. Another save from the young Dragons fullback.
Yeah, well positioned, Tyrell Sloan. It was a well-weighted kick from Moylan, just on the outside of the right boot. Sewell was coming through hard. And Talakai and Mulitalo just a fraction deep. This one, oh, it's gone out in the fall. It is gone out on the fall.
Well, that's what can happen. The only 30-point wins the Sharks have had over the Dragons, over the St George Illawarra Dragons, were 2000 and 2007. So penalty right in front of the sticks, and it's a ruthless Cronulla. Let's go for more tries. Finucane on the run. Maybe it's Dale's night. He hasn't scored a try in a long time, 27 games. It's the Sharks with McInnes trapped at dummy half. I suppose we're looking for another play from Nico Hines, but it won't be happening because he's off the field. He's gone to the bench, no injury. He's been parked in the garage for the rest of the night. Moylan with the ball for Cronulla. Kept it alive. Couldn't get the kick to Mulitalo. And Ravalawa back with it for St George Illawarra. So Hines' work is done. He's off the field. And there he is. Welcome back, Nico Hines, from that calf injury. His first appearance of the year. I have nothing to do with Dally M voting, but I'm reckoning he got the 3 from both judges. Dragons with the ball, just can they find a second half point here? So, you know, wiped out by Brisbane the last 10 minutes last week. If you combine that last 10 to this game, it's, what is it, 60-8 in their last, it'll be their last 90 minutes of play. It's a fair belting. Hunt kicks. We wish him all the best for the birthday tomorrow, Ben Hunt. As Will Kennedy brings it back for Cronulla.
It's been great again tonight, Will Kennedy. Picked up a try. Upwards of 130 metres now carrying the ball. He's been everywhere.
Now the Sharks. So Brayley playing a free role here. I guess he's sort of slotted into halfback with McInnes dominating dummy half duties. Katoa there. By the way, you can learn the fundamentals of league in a safe and supportive environment, form real friendships which last a lifetime, and practice real teamwork like what you've seen from the Sharks that builds character and a sense of fairness. Join your local club rugby league team today at playrugbyleague.com. Junior rugby league season's about to get underway. Sloan pushed back there for the Dragons, or rather Sullivan it was at fullback that time. And St George Illawarra with the ball, but there's been a lot of this in their own half, second half. In fact, those numbers in the second half, they've had only 10 tackles inside the Cronulla half. 10 for the entire second half. And the line break count in the second half is 5-0 to Cronulla. The penalty count in the second half is also 5-0 to Cronulla. Dragons back to the 40. Last tackle play. Laurie on for Hunt to run it. They chance their hand. And across with Lomax. Gets rid of Brayley. Now tries a chip, which goes out on the full. At least he was having a dig there, Zach Lomax. Can you give me some advice for the Dragons for next week? Dragon fans looking for some hope. What you've seen from the team? Do you just move on from tonight?
I just don't think they were ruthless enough. I thought last week they played really direct and played with power and took on the Broncos forward pack physically. I thought tonight from the outset they tried to move the ball laterally far too much. And in the end they just haven't been resilient and tough enough to be able to defend their errors. It was only 12-8 at half-time and it was a simple error from Moses Suli when Jaden Sullivan lost the ball and they just never recovered. They just weren't resilient enough, Andrew.
Sunday night with Matty Johns, not too far away. Sam Verrills and Matty Rogers, special guest with Matty Johns. The Rat, Matt Rogers, is back. Bad luck for Sam Verrills with a fractured collarbone at the Titans as Moylan will kick across field. Mulitalo is there. It's knocked back. Dragons have the ball. Oh, they're going to say knock on Dragons. Sharks will have one last chance to get into the 40s here.
Well, it's always a contest for Ronaldo. It was a greatly weighted kick, wasn't it? And
so next week, Dragons taking on the Dolphins in Wollongong, and the Sharks back home against the Warriors. They've never got into the 40s against St George Illawarra. This would absolutely put the exclamation mark on the local derby tonight. There's the Dragons' next 5. It's up against Wayne Bennett's Dolphins next up. So Cronulla looking for the big finish. Just a metre away from the line. Is there a Mulitalo hat-trick maybe? Another penalty.
It's not quick inside 10.
In this second half against the Dragons. And maybe they're going to put the cue in the rack. They will. They'll just say, we'll go to 2. We'll go to 40. We've had enough bumps and bruises for the night. And we'll finish the game with this. Cronulla back in a big way. After a so-so start, they're going to win here 40 points to 8. Well, they mind you, Talakai last week.
don't.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think if he was a golfer, he'd need the fairways to be a little wider than what they present themselves. Yes, surely he gets this. Talakai from in front. There we go. Ziffer, you beauty. Bangs it over. The local derby. What's a second half whitewash? From 12 points to 8 at the break. A game that the Dragons led 8-6 with 8 minutes to go in the first half. They end up losing by 32. Clear win to the Sharks, and Nico Hines is back. Full time. Cronulla 40, St George Illawarra 8.